am your host, Mashuma Saba, M. Saba, and this is our Cultural Variety Podcast. Stay tuned. Peace, and welcome to Coffee Talk Podcast, the Cultural Variety Podcast Show, and I am your host, Mashuma Saba, M. Saba, and this is the Cultural Variety Podcast Show. How y'all doing today? Peace. All right, just make sure my volume's up. It is up. It's a beautiful day, y'all. And, before we start the show, man, I just wanted to talk about, this has been a great summer here in the Twin Cities as far as weather. You know what I mean? We've been having just sunny days every day, man. And I know some people may complain about heat, but if you know anything about the Twin Cities and Minnesota, man, it can get cold here. So we've been having great weather for the last 4 weeks. Maybe 5 weeks, you know what I mean? We have had a little bit of rain here and there, but not enough to complain about. Actually, rain is good because it cleans everything. And so I'm just happy about that. No doubt. How was y'all's day today, though? That's what's important, is my viewers and my supporters. How was y'all's day? If you're having a splendid day, a great day, go ahead and put up a number 3 for me. Can you do that for me in the chat box? And if you had a so-so day, you know what I'm saying? Work is work. You know how people say it. Then go ahead and put up a number 2. A number 2 if you had an okay day today. And if you had a day where you want to, wake up and try it again tomorrow, get right back on it, then go ahead and put up a number 1. And if you really need to talk to somebody, then go ahead and just drop us an inbox, because we'd love to hear from you. And so that's what it is. Welcome to the show. You know what I mean? Peace, Queen Tova. I see you out there. Peace to the gods and earths. All right, so today, if this is your first time tuning into the show, man, we never like to start the show without giving you what we call the wise words, as well as the flavor. Now, what is flavor? Flavor is anything positive or anything that you may perhaps be drinking on, whether that's in a cold day or a hot day, whether that's coffee, water, wine, beer, latte, original juice, water, whatever you sipping on. But today's flavor is going to be green tea. So I'm going to go ahead and give you 3 quick benefits of drinking green tea, and then we're going to go ahead and go over to the wise words for today, and then we're going to start our show. We got a great show lined up. We're going to be talking about VANESSA Bryant. Yes, that's Kobe Bryant's wife, widow. And we're also going to be talking about Coach Brian Flores for the Minnesota Vikings. And he has a lawsuit that he opened up back on February 1st, 2022. So we definitely want to get into that. And we want to hear what you got to say about both of those. We definitely want to hear y'all's thoughts. So let's just jump right in. Today's flavor is green tea. Why green tea? Because of these 3 benefits. Number 1, it helps manage the blood sugar. In 2022, there was a case study in China that stated that that green tea takes away about 10%. There's a 10% lowers your chance of death from type 2 diabetes. Number 2, benefits of green tea. Green tea lowers the risk of heart disease. And number 3, the benefits of sipping on green tea is it helps with oral health. You know what I mean? So you definitely want to make sure that your oral is good. You don't want bad breath or whatever. You know what I mean? Hey, don't laugh at nobody, man, because sometimes that just means you got to go to the dentist and get your oral looked at, have them look at everything and get you an oral exam. You know what I mean? So that you can be fresh to death. You know what I'm saying? All right. So anyway, that's the flavor for the show, is that tonight's flavor is green tea. But wherever you at, make sure you sip it on whatever you need, whether that's water, wine, a smoothie, a cappuccino, a beer, whatever it is, man. But just make sure that you are enjoying yourself. Make sure wherever you at, you're kicking your feet up and you watching Coffee Talk Podcast. You know what I'm talking about? All right, let's go ahead and move right into our next segment. Our next segment is the wise words. Now, wise words are just words of motivation, words of empowerment, words of enlightenment that a lot of our ancestors, our celebrities, our friends, our families, our cousins, our grandfathers, people we know, people we don't know of, our poets, our doctors, our lawyers, our scholars. They're just words of encouragement, again, as I stated, words to motivate you, words to uplift you, words to empower you, words to enlighten you. So tonight's wise words is from a gentleman that was born January 17th, 1942, and he passed and went to the essence on June 2016. Yes, he left a great impact. He was a three-time world heavyweight champion. I want to say he was a three-time undisputed champ. You may want to check my records on that, check the records on that and let me know. But this gentleman here is from Louisville, Kentucky. And his name goes by the great Muhammad Ali. All right. Muhammad Ali's wise words for tonight is this: the man who has no imagination has no wings. I'm going to say that again. The man who has no imagination has no wings. Those are the wise words of Muhammad Ali. All right, so now let's go ahead and get into our show. Tonight we're going to discuss Vanessa Bryant. And Vanessa Bryant is the wife of Kobe Bryant, also the widow of Kobe Bryant. And I want to have a discussion about her because she's been getting a lot of flack in the news this past month, of course. And I don't think it's right. And, you know, here at Coffee Talk Podcast, we want to go ahead and reach out and just give her some kind words if she ever views our show on YouTube or whatnot. But Vanessa Bryant has been married to Kobe Bean Bryant for about 20 years, all of his basketball career. And as you know, Kobe came into the NBA at 17, 18 years old, straight out of high school, you know. And he played 20 years, maybe 22 years. Y'all check that for me and leave it in the comments. And Vanessa was there for his whole career. Well, as we both know, we know the demise of Kobe and his daughter Gigi. You know, much respect to both of them. My condolences goes out to their whole entire family, as well as Gigi and Kobe. And you know, that's a lot for a mother, a wife, to have to endure. You know what I mean? Well, there's allegations out right now that are saying that Vanessa Bryant could possibly be pregnant, which I don't feel that's none of our business. And if she is, she is. And there's also allegations stating that it could be from another ball player. And so everybody got caught up in the uproar. Oh, by a ball player and all this and that. They've been treating her like, why is she messing with somebody? And that just overwhelmed me because I'm thinking to myself, Vanessa has been a good wife. Vanessa stood with Kobe when Kobe was caught up in having an affair. That's not an allegation. That is something that did take place in Denver, Colorado. Y'all know the story, or you can look it up. Kobe apologized to his wife on national TV, and they made it work. They have 4 daughters. They made it work. She forgave her man. And that's all that should matter between couples. See, what happens right now is we have too much people that like to be in our relationships. Too many people that likes to give bad advice, that likes to give negative advice, that likes to give advice that's not encouraging at all. People say, oh, you should leave him. You should leave him. And these same people that tell you that you should leave your husband or leave your spouse are people that don't even have nobody. And where I'm from, if you don't have nobody, then your opinion don't count. Even if it's an opinion, it don't count anyway. But I know that if I'm going to get advice from someone, I want to make sure that they are educated in what they're saying to me. They have experience in what they say to me, and they are happy within themselves. It seems like there's a lot of people that ain't happy. So Kobe Bryant's wife possibly is pregnant. And if she is, congratulations. But we, thank you, everyone. Thank you. We, as in old media, because I'm part of the new media, but the old media, they have to stop with this shunning of a person, attacking a person. Vanessa Bryant deserves to find love again. She deserves to include herself into a partnership with whoever, because life goes on. That doesn't mean that she has a disdain for her husband. That doesn't mean that she is cheating her husband. But if Kobe Bryant knew what was going to happen to him, or we could speak to Kobe some type of way, I'm sure he would encourage Vanessa to move on. Kobe did exactly what he was supposed to do as a man. He built a legacy. He built an empire. And he built generational wealth for his daughters in case of his demise. So for people to say, oh, she pregnant, and then talk down on her, that's wrong. Some of you people that get married, your vows is to be married to a person till death do you part. Well, in this case, death has done them part. Vanessa deserves to start to empower herself. Vanessa deserves to come out of that pain, so to speak, because none of us knows what she's going through. And while people can say what they'll do or what they won't do, blase, et cetera, everybody mourns differently. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody mourns differently. And everybody deserves that time to heal. But nobody deserves to be trapped in pain, in toxicity, in the pain of losing her husband and her daughter. Nobody needs to just dwell in that for the rest of their lives. Time goes on. So my reason for tonight selecting Vanessa Bryant as the topic here on Coffee Talk Podcast is because I just want her to know that there's people out here that is supporting her. There are people out here that are cheering from the sidelines, man, and she deserves that. She definitely deserves that. All these allegations of how she ain't giving Kobe's mom no money or her own mother no money. You know, first of all, family things should be in the closet, behind the scenes. We don't know what's going on with those families. We don't know what Vanessa's willing to do versus what she may not agree with. But it seems like soon as you disagree with somebody, um, you become the villain, and everybody that because you're not doing it their way, they become the victims. We have to stop this. People should be worrying about themselves. So, with that being said, we just like to go ahead and say from Coffee Talk Podcast, we salute you, Vanessa Bryant. And if you are pregnant, may you have a healthy child. And you do what you have to do to be the leader, the mother of your family, and and you take care of your daughters, man. So that's what we want to say from us to you here at Coffee Talk Podcast. All right, all right, all right. All right, so now let's go ahead and get to our next topic. And our next topic is about Minnesota Vikings defensive coordinator coach Brian Flores. Before he came over to the Minnesota Vikings, he was on the coaching staff of the Miami Dolphins. And, I only did a little bit of homework on Brian. So please help me in the chats. Let me know if Brian Flores was a head coach already for the Miami Dolphins. I want to say he was and was let go after about a year. And I think this guy's brilliant as far as a coach. He's kept the Vikings in the top 10 as far as defensively. The last 2 years he's been here, or is it 3? And he starts to turn around the Miami Dolphins. But I will say this. On February 1st, 2022, Brian Flores filed a lawsuit against the NFL. The lawsuit, which alleges racial discrimination in the league's hiring practice, was filed in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York, the Supreme Court. Flores, along with 2 other coaches, is seeking to proceed a class action suit because of the hiring practices. There's not many black NFL head coaches. And what I would like for you to do without you really cheating, just going off of your fanmanship, if that's a word, your fanmanship of the NFL, go ahead and leave a comment in our chat box of how many black head coaches there are in the NFL. Go ahead and let us know. And if you get the right answer, we will make sure that we give you a shout out here at Coffee Talk Podcast. Can you do that for us? All right. So let's go ahead and talk about this. So allegedly, there was a text message prior to this that, Brian Flores was going for an NFL job. I don't know if it was with the Carolina Panthers or whatnot, but he was acquiring about a head coaching position. And somehow it got out that former New England Patriots coach would get the job over Brian Flores if he wanted. Well, when all of this came out back in 2022, it was nasty. I would say that. It was nasty because brothers feel they deserve to be head coaches. I mean, the NFL is about 90% black. And you've had some great coaches from our culture that has been there, but just not enough. There is, I want to say, only one melanated person that's owner in the NFL, and that's the Atlanta Falcons owner. I forgot his name. Again, I didn't do my homework on that part. And he is more from, I don't know if he's Arabic or whatnot, but he's from overseas, and he owns the Atlanta Falcons. But let's go ahead and talk about this Brian Flores situation first. Most recently, this past week or so, the Supreme Court has approved that these court proceedings can proceed with Brian Flores suing the NFL. But I wrote down a couple questions that I would like to ask you, the viewers of the show, and I want to look for your answers. So make sure you put them in the chat. But here's the first question. Could this case affect Brian Flores, and how can it affect Brian Flores in a win, lose, or draw situation? Let me give you a few pointers of what I'm thinking. Right now, Brian Flores has been with the Minnesota Vikings. Things on the news front has been quiet. He's been successful running the defenses there. His team has been at the top of the division the last 2 years since he's been here. He's a great recruiter for the team. But when he filed this case, it was definitely because of the discrimination lawsuit. So I want to ask you, if things have been going okay for you, and at one time prior to leading up to you filing the lawsuit, right, you was going to be blackballed. And the ownership of the Minnesota Vikings took a chance on you because you are a great defensive-minded coach and one of the best. And I don't doubt that as a head coach. But these last 2 years, Brian it's been nice and quiet. I'm sure him and his family has been enjoying the Twin Cities. And the question is would you be willing to walk away? Because you are right. There is an issue with the hiring practice of the NFL. I mean, that's just out in the open. It's out in the open. There's an issue with the hiring practice. But my question would be, because I'm a student of you pick and choose your wars. Sometimes when we go and we attack everything that's attacking us, that means we're spreading ourselves thin because we're fighting every war, every disagreement, every debate. And that alone can not only isolate you, but that alone can just thin you out where you can easily be removed. But then there's another part of this lens that says that, Brian, you have come this far, and we need you to be the shield of advancement in this case. By you going to court, and if you beat the NFL, yeah, they may have to pay you out some money as they did Colin Kaepernick. But is it worth losing something that you love, fighting for everybody else? Now, this is a very sticky situation because a lot of people, including myself, you say, you got to set the bar for those coming behind you. That's absolutely true. But I also seen cases where you put yourself out there on the line, right? And if you lose the case, those people that you're fighting for may not even care. So I ask you, my viewers tonight, is what do you think should happen with Brian Flores? Being that, his career is going good right now, these last few years. Or do you continue to fight for the rights of your people with the possibility of losing that case? I'm not going to select either one. I would rather hear from you, the viewers here at Coffee Talk Podcast. So please, please, please go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comments. While you're there, make sure you hit like, make sure you share, and make sure you get on the phone or the text and call somebody and say, yo, Coffee Talk Podcast is on right now as we speak. Go to YouTube, type in Coffee Talk Podcast with Mashuma Saba. You will see the logo. Or you can go to Facebook Live and check us out, no doubt. What is your thoughts on this case with Brian Flores? Again, go ahead and leave a comment. So with that being said, We're going to wait for the comments to come on in, and we'll definitely touch base Wednesday, which is our Wednesday night sports coverage, and we'll go back to this. But until then, I just want to go ahead and salute everyone that follows Coffee Talk Podcast. Thank you for being patient. I know we missed 2 episodes last week, and that was just because, you know, we're back in the groove of things. So we did have a couple episodes this past week, but we did miss 2 days. You know, I'm doing a lot right now. I'm volunteering coaching in my community for some 12-year-old football team. I've been doing it for 3 years, and, you know, I've just running a business and doing my podcasting. So sometimes I may miss a date. And if I do, you know, we'll double it up like we always do. Some of y'all been rocking with us for the last, since 2018, you know, rocking with us as we built this podcast. And so we just want to say we appreciate y'all for doing that. But let us know what your thoughts are on the Brian Flores case. Again, the Supreme Court has approved for his case to move forward and suing the NFL. Does that man go ahead and take that off the table and says, you know what, I don't want to shake anything, rattle anything. I want my family to be good. I want to continue to make money, and I want to continue to enjoy doing football, something that I love? Or are you ready to stand up and still fight for what you believe in for the benefit of others that may want to be head coaches someday, defensive coaches someday, offensive coordinators someday? What is y'all's thoughts? What would you do? Go ahead and leave that in the comments. Let us know. And after you do that, we'll definitely make sure we give you a shout out as well. So until next time, thank you for tuning in to your show, Coffee Talk Podcast, the cultural variety podcast show. And I am your host, Mashuma Saba. And this peace.